My self-love journey made me face all the negative feelings, beliefs, and ideas I had about myself. I didn't know it at the time, but I was doing shadow work. When I was finally aware of what I was doing, I was shocked to realize that successful shadow work is a process of accepting and healing. I learned that your insecurities don't just disappear. You don't just wake up one day and you are this new transformed woman. You don't just wake up and you love every single thing about yourself. You never have a day when you're not feeling your best. You never have a day when you're not liking something about yourself. What actually changes is how you relate to and communicate with the parts of you that you once hid behind makeup, behind hair, behind weave, clothes, etc. This new communication, this new way of relating to myself is how I was actually able to change and love myself and allow myself to blossom into this beautiful version of myself. And this is how I continue to allow myself to blossom as well. So it's not about becoming perfect, but it is about learning how to work on, heal, and even work with your insecurities. I am Tashi Ann. This is the Natural Girls Club, and together we work on becoming the women of our dreams, becoming the most beautiful, authentic versions of ourselves. So subscribe to join the club because you're gonna love it here. It is most women's dream to be the most beautiful versions of themselves. That's why they get surgery. That's why they do their makeup a certain way. That's why they be in the gym. That's why they do these different cosmetic procedures and go get facials and do different things to their hair, etc., etc. But true beauty is not just an outward fix. It might ask you to sacrifice your comfort, leaving some things behind, not wearing makeup, not wearing weave, so that your beauty can actually blossom and develop. And in these moments of discomfort, you are going to be confronted with how you see yourself truly, deeply, how you actually see yourself. There's nothing to hide behind. I grew up with insecurities around how I looked, my facial features, my skin, my body, my hair. I had many insecurities. And as I got older, I knew that wasn't healthy. I knew that I needed to work on that in order for me to live a more happy and fruitful life. So I made a choice to intentionally work on my confidence. And I thought the goal was to fix your insecurities, fix your negative thoughts, and eliminate them forever. But that is not the case. That is not how it goes. Doing shadow work taught me that fixing is not necessarily the problem. It is a relationship problem. When I first started my natural hair journey, this journey was the most pivotal and the most difficult part of my self-love journey. I was very uncomfortable. I was very insecure. My hair was short. I felt like I had nothing to hide behind. I had nothing to accentuate my look. And then as it grew out, it just got more and more awkward because the length was awkward. It brought me back to the stages of my life when I was younger and I didn't like to look in the mirror. I didn't feel beautiful. I stopped wearing makeup for a while just because I wanted better skin and I wanted to love myself, but that was even before my intentional journey. So, not wearing makeup wasn't as difficult for me, but I still had deep insecurities, and my hair, when I was able to wear box braids or when I was able to wear weave, my hair would help me so I felt more beautiful with the hair. But there were times where when I didn't have makeup on, when I would look in the mirror, etc., I wouldn't feel as beautiful. In these moments, I had to really confront how I truly felt about myself, the fact that I felt like I was unattractive. But because I had hair goals, I knew that I wanted my hair to be down to my bum, okay? I wanted long hair, and I knew how beneficial the journey was gonna be for my self-love, for my self-worth. And I didn't even know fully to the extent how beneficial it was going to be. I definitely did not expect my life to turn out the way it is now, for me to feel how I feel now. I definitely was not expecting that. So I forced myself to keep going. I forced myself to face myself and to heal. And at the same time, I was doing practices to help me get more beautiful, like taking care of my hair, doing self care, facials, and face massages. But what I noticed on my journey was that my shadow self really just wanted to be heard, wanted to be listened to, wanted to be taken seriously and not shunned, not judged, not condemned. Growing up, I would judge myself for feeling the way I felt about myself. I would curse myself out for having these negative feelings. But I realized that wasn't helping my shadow. I realized that my shadow had its own voice, had its own feelings, and that was something that I needed to pay attention to. So I took that seriously. I started to listen without judging and giving my shadow what it needed. Sometimes my shadow just needed a listening ear. Sometimes my shadow needed a new perspective. Sometimes my shadow needed some practices, some strategy to help it understand that we were working towards being better. Sometimes my shadow needed compromise. It needed its needs to be taken into account. Our shadow is the parts of ourselves that developed out of trauma, out of the trauma that we experienced in our lives. And our shadow's main purpose is to protect us, is to keep us safe, to help us navigate without getting hurt. Our shadow isn't necessarily bad, it just was at a time when we needed protection, we needed help, and now that we've healed, now that we've grown, we have to reprogram our shadow and let our shadow know that it is okay. So what does this look like for me? I honored what my shadow was telling me in moments where I didn't feel the best, I didn't feel attractive. I allowed myself to be unattractive in peace. I didn't post on social media. I wasn't really going out as much. I allowed myself to heal in peace. Other times when I had events or I just wasn't really feeling as attractive as I wanted to feel and I had a special occasion coming up, I was going to be on camera, whatever the case may be, I allowed myself to do my hair in like box braids or yeah, it was mostly box braids, but I allowed myself to do something different to my hair to help me feel more comfortable. I didn't force myself to reject how I was feeling. In moments where I was looking at myself in the mirror and I had those negative thoughts about myself, I would talk to myself in the mirror, affirm myself in the mirror, and give myself a new perspective, tell myself how beautiful I was, that I loved myself, etc. And that actually always worked. As my confidence grew, I needed to do that less, or it might have called for different approaches, but I always met myself where I was and gave myself what I needed wherever I was on my journey. So, when you are becoming the woman of your dreams, up leveling and glowing up your physical beauty, you don't magically become a new person that loves everything about themselves. But you learn to be real with yourself, you learn to listen to yourself and honor yourself and communicate with yourself. You stop abandoning yourself, you stop fighting yourself, and you are able to work with yourself. Some things, yes, you improve them, and I advocate for improving your beauty and your physical appearance naturally. But other things, you learn how to hold space for them in a different kind of way, which helps you build your confidence truly and deeply. It's not a confidence that says I'm perfect, but it's a confidence that says I accept myself for who I am, where I am, and I allow myself to be seen just as I am. This looks like not hiding parts of yourself, not feeling like you're not worthy, being honest with yourself, and the most important, taking care of yourself and growing and healing from a place of love, not pressure. So, with that being said, a lot of us are trying to become confident by eliminating and removing our insecurities altogether. But true confidence comes when you learn how to exist with your insecurities without them controlling you. So, if you are someone that is nervous about beginning this journey of becoming the best you naturally because you know that it's going to be uncomfortable, you're scared of the discomfort, I would say yes, it is uncomfortable. It is what it is. But it's worth it, and you don't have to give up the things that help you feel comfortable altogether. Those can still be things that you utilize to help you on your journey, but embracing that discomfort is important as well. The main objective is not having a perfect journey and never wearing makeup again or never wearing weave again. It's more about learning how to treat yourself with compassion, with love, with understanding. And even though I'm in a way better space than I was in before, as far as my insecurities and my confidence, I love myself way more than I did before, but I am continuously on this journey of listening to my shadow, accepting, working with my shadow, and maneuvering accordingly. I'm continuously on that journey. It has not stopped, it has not changed. I do it less, but it definitely is still something that I experience. Even with these twists that I have in my hair right now, I didn't necessarily want to do these twists because twists tend to make me feel a little bit more uncomfortable, but I didn't give in to my desire to do a different hairstyle because I needed the twist more for my hair's well being. And I wanted to embrace the discomfort because I knew it would be good for me. I didn't need to go get box braids or a different hairstyle. I was thinking about it, but I didn't. Well, that's just an example. I am continuously on this cycle of listening to myself and moving accordingly without judgment. So if you are on this journey, you are not alone, and I encourage you to go on this journey because there's so many benefits. You feel better about yourself, and that feeling that you have about yourself bleeds out into all different areas of your life. I say this all the time. If you would like to join this journey with me, glowing up naturally, becoming the best version of yourself, join the Natural Girls Club free community. The link is in the description. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure that you guys like and subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.